Hi there, it's Ken with Roguedeckbuilder.com here with a wrap-up video for the Jund Midrange deck that I am going to be running the PTQ. Again, this version is going to change slightly with Xenagos, God of Revels, coming in here, as well as I have it all in my intro video, so you can look at the intro video for all the changes I'm going to make. But I think Xenagos makes this deck so much better. But man, oh man, was that a great showing. 4-0, no problems. None of those games were even remotely close. All of them had pretty decent draws, in my opinion, especially that Bant draw, you know, where they're top decking what they need. But you saw how Rakdos' Return just can blow out a mid-range or control deck. And it's so tempting to go more than 2 Rakdos Return, but I don't think I need to. I think 2 is perfect number. And this deck just has answers to everything else. So I'm really, really liking it. Definitely excited. You can tell I'm a little bit out of breath out of my excitement for this deck. I'm liking the one of Xenagos. I'm liking the one of Chandra. They both worked in those games. I got to see. The cool thing about those matchups that I just got to tape is we got to see everything from Xenagos to Chandra to a Golgari Charm to a Dreadboard to Rakdos' Return, so the entire sideboard minus these cards right here. And we got to see every card in our main board except maybe the Flesh Blood Arm Dangerous combo, which I still think is worth putting in this deck. The Boon Satyrs were great. The Drag Manglers seemed okay, but I'm going to go down to 2 of them and probably go down to 2 of Fnatic of Xenagos and add in a few more options, probably the Xenagos main board or maybe a Dreadboard main board or something. I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but it's going to be the shell of trying to go 1-3-5 or just a quick turn 5, either Stormbreath Dragon or Underworld Cerberus or Xenagos, God of Revels, and whatnot. So if you have any suggestions, let me know. Hopefully I'll get these video series up before I even play in the PTQ. Again, the PTQ is being held at Epic Puzzles and Games in Salt Lake City, West Valley to be technical, which is just off 35th South. And I think it's past Bangerter Highway. If anyone's familiar with Salt Lake, I can't remember what west that is. I believe it's around 42 West. So what you do is you take I-215, take the 35th South exit, and head west. And it's on your right-hand side. It's a huge facility. It's pretty cool because I started with Epic Puzzles and Games a couple years ago, and they were in this little teeny tiny shop. And we had a very, very few players, and we get like 8 to 12 people show up to drafts. Just a close-knit group of people. Again, a tiny shop. It was very, very small. And like 2 tables, I believe, was all that was in it. And then they moved a couple of doors down to a larger facility, which then had about 10 tables and had a great play group, had a lot of fun there. That's where most of my memories are because then I moved. I think I moved from Salt Lake the same time they were moving over their new facility, but their new facility is gigantic. It'll easily be able to hold a PTQ. We've had pre-releases there with 128 people already, and so I'm thinking it'll easily be able to hold 150 people for a PTQ. So wish me luck. I'm really, 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 really looking forward to playing this deck. Last PTQ went kind of sour because I didn't play test as much as I probably should have, and I still like the deck. It's junk control, basically the best of both worlds from the green-white aggro and or green-white mid-range and the Orzhov control list meshed together. So it was what I played was Voice of Resurgence, and I played the Whip of Erebos, Loxodon and Smiters, and it's just basically to clog up the field until I got an opposite out. But the deck didn't perform very well. I got stuck on 4 lands so many games, and I was playing like 25, 26 lands, I believe, and it just was not working out. And I think with more playtesting, I probably would have gone for a 1-3-5 route. I had a 1-3-5 route in there originally, like this deck is. I had Orzhov key runes or Celestine key runes, one of the two, but it just didn't seem to pan out in the playtest, and I cut it, and then I was stuck on 4 lands or the wrong color of lands so many games that it was just terrible. I think that cost me most of my games. I ended up going like 3-5. It was very, very awful showing. To add insult to injury, my last deck that I played against, the round number 8 that I played against was a Maze's End deck, which my deck could not beat because everything in my deck was damaged through creatures, and I didn't have enough disruption through Thoughtseize. I was playing a full package of Thoughtseize, but it just wasn't enough to beat a Turbo Fog type deck. Anyway, so looking forward to better luck this time. I think I have a better deck that's more positioned for the meta game. Didn't get to see a mono blue. I've tested this against mono blue though in Paper Magic, and it works fine. But other than that, I'm thinking Esper's fine. It's a great matchup. Mono Black's a great matchup. I think the RG Monsters is pretty much a coin flip. They might have the edge a little bit just because they don't have to shock themselves as much, but it's very similar to what they're running. And maybe Pelucranos is a little bit better against my deck than some of the cards I'm using, but it's pretty much the same thing. So, I mean, I might have a little faster ramp, though, depending on their build. They could be the Burning Tree Emissary build with the Nykthos and whatnot, but it's very similar. I mean, I'm very, very, very splashing black here anyway, just for the, main board, just for Drag Manglers and Underworld Cerberuses. That's it. I mean, that's the main board inclusions here, and then sideboard, I do get some nice little tricks with Dreadbore, Golgari Charms, Rakdos' Return, and whatnot, which I do believe is worth it, as you can easily go down into just a green-red strategy by cutting the Cerberuses, running more Stormbreaths and Pelucranoses, and then still having room for the Xenagos. But again, it just didn't seem as potent as this build does. And the Scrylands, I love running 8 Scrylands in here, as it helps. I think it helps the consistency of the deck a lot more. And you still have enough ways first turn for Stomping Grounds and Overgrown Tombs. You still have, I think all I cut, is these 4 here. So I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I still have 13 ways to get a first turn Elvish Mystic. So again, the second turn Domri is gonna be a little bit harder with 8 comes into play tap lands, but I don't think it's that big of a deal to get that second turn Domri. It's still gonna be a consistent turn 3 Domri. So anyway, Kev with RogueDeckbuilder.com. Thanks for watching.